Today I want to talk to you about portraiture and more specifically self-portraiture. Now, self-portraiture provides a safe place to really play and experiment with new techniques, and I do that a lot. I did a whole video on mark making where I focused on self-portraiture, and I was playing with different mark making techniques by using my face. So it can also reshape our senses of self and foster a better self-acceptance of who we are. So there's a lot going on when you do a self-portraiture. A lot of psychological things are at play, and there's a lot of vulnerability too, having to look at yourself and see all the things that you like and possibly don't like about yourself. But drawing a self-portrait, it's not about snapping a selfie and uploading it to a social media account. It's a way to share that vulnerable part of who we are. And that examination and that bravery gives the viewer permission to share who they are as well. So, always remember that art, even self-portraiture, it's about communicating. It's about saying something, and what you say is going to be different for everyone. And it's okay not to like your portraits, and it's okay to notice that your portrait looks different every time. Portraits evolve and grow just as you do in your identity and skill level as an artist. So what I want to show you are just some different sketches, and this is a sketch from my sketchbook, direct observation. I'm just using pen. But I'm on a 3/4 of an angle here. And here I did another study sketch where it's just graphite pencil. This one here is a study that I did, and I broke the shapes and the shadows of my face down, and I used this sketch for a painting. And here is a study that I was doing of myself. I was learning how to lay down transparent watercolor, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted lights and darks to be conveyed. And so I did my face as I was learning the process. So all of these look fairly similar and also very different. So don't be afraid to have that variable within your work. Now today we are going to do a sketch. And when you do a self-portrait sketch, it's not a finished drawing. It's just an idea and somewhere to go off to something else. So this could be developed further if I so desired it, okay? But I really encourage you to do as much sketching as possible and really allow yourself that idea of trial and error, and allow yourself to play and to really figure out how you look. Again, this isn't to be considered a finished drawing. This is just to be considered a sketch, something that I would do in my sketchbook or on sketch paper. And then I would use these ideas, these developments for a finished drawing. Okay, so let's get started on how to draw a portrait. Okay, so I'm going to start with a general oval shaped head. And I'm also going to mark where my hair is on the top because I'm wearing my hair up. So I'm going to want that added lift area. I don't want it flat on my head. So my hair and my head are going to be two separate shapes. And then I'm going to just very quickly also establish my shoulders. Now I'm leaning forward so I don't see much of my neck, but if you were sitting back, you'd want to make sure you got that neck in. Now within that oval, I also have some circles. I have a larger circle on the top half of the oval and a smaller circle on the bottom part of the oval, and that's just going to provide me some extra guiding points as I sketch along. It might be something that you would want to do as well. Now, the eye line is not quite halfway down the oval, but almost. Everyone is a little different, but a halfway point is a good place to start with the eyes. Now, the nose line is going to be between the eye line and the chin. And the lip line is going to be center between the nose and the chin. Okay, so let's start establishing the eyes first. Now, that eye line is going to be in the center of the eye, and you can start with a classic almond shape if you'd like, but what I really want you to pay attention to is that your eye is going to be one eye width apart from the other eye. So when you start out with the nose, you just want to keep it general, very generic, and I start with a geometric shape of the triangle, and the base of the nose width is approximately the width of the eye. So I usually make two straight lines from the edge of the eye down to the nose line, just to give myself a guiding point. Okay, so the length of the lip will line up with the edge of the nose. So I'm just going to draw out a rectangular box, and that lip line is going to be in the center. Now remember, we're just shaping out the features. We're going to focus on refining them in a moment. So everyone's eye is shaped a little differently, and there's a lot of structure to the eye. So really look at how the folds, the upper lids and the lower lids, really form around the eyeball, and it's going to be a lot more angled and heavy lined than curved. So really take some time to look at the details of your eyes as you refine them. So the nose can be really tricky, but just take your time. Remember, this is a sketch, and there's a lot of room for error because this is your learning time. This is your planning time. Now, when I was drawing this sketch of myself, I was looking upward. So there's much more nostril present in this drawing. So the way you're angled when you draw really affects how your drawing looks in the end. So just be aware that your nose is a lot softer than those angular geometric shapes used to map out the face. And there is a line that connects the nose to the brow line. So as you are shaping the nose and refining it, you're also softening the shape out of the geometric form and into the organic one. I really like drawing lips, and I've done full studies just on lips and mouths alone, and everyone's lips are different, just like our other facial features. But what's really interesting about lips is they're very complex. There's a lot going on with them because there are these outer muscles So there's a lot of complexity, a lot of structure. And I would just be aware that sometimes your bottom lip is going to look larger than your top lip, or your top lip will look larger than your bottom lip. Or sometimes your lips don't perfectly line up. So really study the uniqueness of your lip structure and try to determine how to draw it in your sketch. And as you practice this, as you develop your drawing skills, you'll start to realize that there's a lot more to the structure than just the classic Clara bow style, which is just kind of the very two humps on the top lip and the bottom curve. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more angling and undulating of line and form. Now, when I'm looking straight on, I don't see my ears because my ears are very close to my face. But some of y'all are going to see your ears because we're all very uniquely made. So when you insert your ears, they're going to be between your eye and your nose. So that should be a good guiding point for your sketching. Okay, so I usually shape out my hair and use some very quick gestural mark making to just give the indication of hair when I'm working on a sketch. But it'll give me a general idea as to where to go with the hair when I decide to refine this drawing. Okay. And that is how to do a self-portrait in a sketch mode. So I hope that this helps you as you practice your self-portraits in your sketchbook. And if you liked what you heard today or saw today, please consider clicking that like button and hitting subscribing so you can be notified when I have another step-by-step instructional on how to do some art making. Okay, until next time.